All right, back again. Sad boy hours episode for one half of this podcast right now. So I was talking with Darsh a little bit beforehand. I'm sure he's just so unbelievably excited inside, and he also, I mean, even though the hit on Devontae Adams was from Jimmy Ward, it was a little suspect. It would just kind of made me a little upset because from the guy that won the game, he's kind of what's the word? Not cherry, like kind of nitpicking the game. It's like easy guy, you already won. It hurts enough, you know what I mean? You just said that like Devontae Adams, like that hit made you mad, but it's like okay, you won the game. He came back in the game like 2 plays later and chill out. But also, what I'm gonna say is I'm starting to realize that everything that I know and want to believe is slowly dwindling away and becoming not very true because the Washington football team got stomped on by the Bills. The New York Football Giants lose Young Hoi Koo. They lose by his game-winning field goal, and also the San Francisco 49ers they're a good football team, okay? But compared to the 2019 team, there's just, like we were talking about last week with lacking of energy, you know what I mean? I think the 49ers, they just don't have that. I just don't feel that special pizzazz per se anymore. I don't know. There's just something about slow starts. Like from their I don't know if you caught the Eagles game or if you obviously watched Sunday Night Football, but you can't get down. Well, we didn't really get down to the Eagles, but you can't have consecutive, like, I don't know. You just can't
start slow.
Yeah, you just can't start slow, especially in the NFC and in your division. And you can't get down 17-0 against the former MVP and expect to come back and win a ball game. Even though you're right there to do it, you can't do those types of things. And I know it's really tough when you don't have a secondary. And it seems like K'Wan Williams, like we're relying right now on a rookie that just played at Oregon last year, but relying heavily on him to understand everything going on. And you can't be too mad at him when he's messing up. Like that one, the game ultimately came down to besides the intentional fumble spike, that's what I'm going to call it. Besides that, the game was it Marquez Valdez? They caught the ball in the back of the end zone on the kind of blown coverage where Diamador was supposed to be playing a little bit more deep in his zone coverage, and Aaron just threw it right over the top of him for a touchdown. Was that right? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's what the game was, because wasn't that a third down? I forget what that was a crucial point.
That was the one that Jimmy fumble spiked on, we only kicked a field goal.
Yes,
we didn't score a touchdown.
Big time too. That's big time.
We only kicked a field. But when we got the ball back after that, we scored. But the fumble spike led to a field goal, which ultimately, later on down the road, that field goal ended up letting us be able to kick the field goal to win the game. So either way, we were put into a good position with that. And, like kind of going back to what you said a little bit earlier, you're like in the moment that hit, he goes down, the camera goes at him and he's like struggling. You know what I mean? Like that's like in the moment, like your best player on the team. Yeah. And I mean, I'll get into this a little bit later, but like the Packers are incredibly one-dimensional when it comes to Devontae Adams. If he's in the game, he's getting the ball pretty much 90%. I think that's his target share right now. He got 90% of, it's not really 90%. It's like, I think 28 targets total and he got 20 of them or something like that. Yeah. Some crazy number like that. I'd have to check it, but we're incredibly one-dimensional when it comes to that. And so when your best player gets, ultimately in the post-game conference, he said that he just got the wind knocked out of him. But in the moment, you don't see that he got the wind knocked out of him based off the angle, everything that they're saying. It looked like he got knocked out. Exactly. So in the moment, I'm fucking pissed, and I have every right to be fucking pissed. So, after the game, and he it wasn't until I actually like sat down and like watched his post game conference, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I just got the wind knocked out of me." I was just like, "Oh, okay, I don't have to be pissed." I'm like, "All right, yeah, it's just football." He got hit in the chest and just got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. But yeah, just the way that it looked, the way that the angles were, it was like, the way it looked was like a Thomas Davis hit. I don't know if you familiar with Thomas Davis, but like Thomas Davis, like incredible defensive player, but like the mastercraft of like dirty hits. And like that was like a Thomas Davis hit. I'm not saying Jimmy Ward's a dirty player by any means. I'm just saying that like the way that he came at and attacked Devontae Adams from that point of angle, it was definitely going towards the head. Mm-hmm. And that's what Thomas Davis was like incredibly good at for the Panthers. And I think he might still be playing, or if he's not, I think he was on the Raiders at one point. So it was just brutal, disgusting.
What did I text you? I texted you, I hate Wisconsin and cheese. Yeah. All their cheese. And then you said, what did you say? Something about,
I said, I hope
Jimmy Ward gets dumped in a big pile of their moldiest cheese.
Yeah. No, dude, I was fucking pissed.
Jimmy Ward can jump into gigantic pot of Wisconsin's moldiest cheese. Classic. That's quote here right there. I hate Jimmy Ward with every fiber of my being.
Dude, 100%, bro. That was like I think that was that after the game?
Oh yeah, it was right after.
Okay, after the game. Yeah.
It's the funniest thing ever. Okay, I have a couple questions for you just really quick. When Kyle Juszczyk scores, happy or sad?
When he scores, happy for the game of football, seeing those fullbacks involved. Sad because it was on the Packers.
Really? Interesting. Yeah. So you weren't like, wow, you gave us 40 seconds with the MVP.
Oh, you're talking about that. Yeah. I guess like overall, based off the context of that game, he scores. I'm like, oh crap, the Packers wasted all their timeouts. One on a spiteful Matt LaFleur, he calls for a replay just out of spite, not even because there was actually something there. I think Mohamed Sanu, like,
see him throw it on the ground like a little baby.
Yeah, it was out of spite. Yeah, exactly. Full of emotion. Like it was based off that play, that previous play where Eric Stokes got called for defensive pass interference when he just tapped the guy's shoulder or something. Him. Yeah, something like that.
It wasn't even a big deal, no.
So something like that happened. And then like the very next play, Mohamed Sanu goes back and like he kind of uses the ground a little bit to like create a little bit of leverage. I don't know what it was. Maybe it looked like it was. Yeah, I thought he caught it, but I thought like based off the angle, or maybe like what Matt LaFleur might have seen off the replay was that, it knocked out. So he thought there might have been. So he just goes up and it was like, at that point, he was out of spite. So we wasted timeouts all across the board, thinking that we just had to hold on to the lead. And then, oh crap, 37 seconds left, 40 seconds left. And Kyle Juszczyk scores. I'm like, oh crap, now we have no timeouts. We're most likely going to get the ball at 25-yard line. And it's pretty much going to be, huck it up, see if we can pick up some yards.
And that plan works pretty well.
Hey, it worked out.
When you texted me, hey, fucking George Kittle's out there somewhere, I was flame roiled. Like I was absolutely flamed at that text because it was an actual low-key dot. It's just Jair Alexander runs a 3.940 across the field. Catches it. Like, are you kidding me? They almost hit it. That was the same play that we hit you with 2 years ago on Sunday Night Football. Except Jair recognized it and channeled his Deion Sanders and ran across the field.
Let me tell you something about that game outside of Kyle Juszczyk scoring. Let me just tell you one thing about that game that I was incredibly surprised with. One, the Packers actually got pressure and they were actually getting sacks.
So much pressure.
We got 10 QB hits on Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy Garoppolo has never been hit that many times in a game before. It's just like never happened to him in his career. He's always had great O lines, and
51.
The game flow has always been 51.
Is it Preston Smith?
No, we got a new guy. It's not Chris Barnes.
I don't know. One of your guys. Is it Rashawn? No, Rashawn Gary. He's good.
He wears 52.
Yeah, he wears 52.
50. Yeah, Chris Barnes, but he got knocked out of the game in the first quarter.
Or I might be.
You might be thinking of Abraham Campbell.
I think it's Rashawn Gary that was messing stuff up.
52. 52.
It was one of those guys in the 50s. I was like, Jesus. My dad was like, oh my God, who are these guys? You don't even have Zadarius Smith. Like,
no, yeah, we didn't have Zadarius Smith. We had Kenny Clark. I mean, on a handful of plays, Kenny Clark was just blowing up your center, like right off the top. And I was like, what the heck? I was just, we got pressures on the quarterback. That's like not a thing. It hasn't been a thing for a minute now. And with our best player on defense, Zadarius Smith out, or best pass rusher on defense out, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the game flow completely to go the other way. And then 2 picks, turnovers. That's not been a part of the Packers game, at least defensively, for years and years and years and years. I think we had only like 6 turnovers the entire season last year. It's just like not a thing when it comes to the Green Bay Packers. So the fact that we got 2 of those, one, we could talk. Maybe it shouldn't have been. We could talk about that, but definitely 1 interception. Great play recognition by Jair Alexander. I honestly didn't even recognize that. Something that that Kyle had ran before. But yeah, it just was not expecting that. When the 49ers actually opened up the third quarter and, they doubled up, the way that they opened it up, I was expecting the game to be a lot more like that pretty much the entire way, where Kyle is literally just taking the entire playbook and just emptying it out. You know what I mean? Like, he's pulling out all the plays, incorporating different people moving across the board to free up and create those schematically open up guys for the big play down the road. So things like where, Kittle is open for like that 50, 60-yard bomb or whatever, or the way that Brandon Ayuk, I was really impressed by Brandon Ayuk, the fact that, he was going toe to toe with Jair and he actually got a touchdown off Jair. And that's like, yeah, he completely tossed him. And that's like something that wasn't a thing, previously, so I was expecting a little bit more like that. I was pleasantly surprised that it didn't go that route. The fact that the Packers defense actually played well, and played incredibly physical through and through, from opening quarter till, the final, before the final 37 seconds. I was impressed. And we held Jimmy, not just Jimmy. Well, yeah, pretty much just Jimmy. We held Jimmy and, the offense to the end of the second quarter. You guys had like 8 or 9 straight plays at the goal line, basically, or in the red zone or something. And then, and then Shanahan's like, all right, fuck it. Let me just throw out Trey Lance. And then,
what are we doing here?
Yeah, let me just throw out Trey Lance. And then Eric Stokes gets bodied by Trent Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that.
When Trey Lance comes on the field, defensive coordinators look like that Zach Galifianakis meme with all the number signs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like they
you don't know what it was completely brilliant too. In hindsight, it's like, okay, dude, come on. Like 3 out, leave the option, at least put some guy over there to cover, at least. But it's like, from a brilliant standpoint, it's like, okay, he had 3 out wide, out wide to the right. And so pretty much like the entire left is open. There's not a whole lot of activity. So everyone's thinking like, oh, it's going to be a drawn up pass. He's going to rush right because that's where the protection is. So like the defense in that situation is like, okay, let's put more guys off to the right or their left, but basically on the right-hand side, because that's where he's going to run to, because that's where the protection is. Shanahan's like, no, fuck that. We're going to bring, I don't know who was with him in the backfield. Maybe it was Kittle. But we're going to make him go left. We're going to bring that around. Or no, Kittle was actually out right. So it was probably a Juszczyk or someone. And we're going to bring that protection on through and, just it was just numbers game at that point.
Yeah, poor Eric Stokes had to go 1v1 with Trent Williams and he got pancaked.
Bodied.
Yeah, that was bad. But so overall, what was your confidence level when you had 37 seconds left with no timeouts?
Honestly, like 3 or 4. I was like 37 seconds left. We're going to get the ball at 3 or 4 out of 10.
Wow.
Because 37 seconds left, no timeouts. With timeouts, I would have been like, all right, yeah, we're going to do it. With timeouts, even like 1.
The game.
Huh?
I had zero faith we were going to win the football game.
You had zero faith. So you had 100% confidence?
I knew we were going to lose the game.
Wow.
That's like I was like as soon as we scored a touchdown, I got up and was like, wow.
We just lost the game.
Lost the game. I had zero faith in the defense to stop Devontae or whoever it was going to be, Lazard or Scantling, anybody, even Robert Tonyan. Like, I had zero faith that anything was going to happen. Anything positive was going to happen for the defense. Literally, you're having an issue when D'Amico Ryans on the sideline is celebrating. Yeah, when Devontae Adams drops a first down pass. Like, that should not count as a stop for you. We gave up a first down, and it was just Devontae Adams dropped the ball. You shouldn't really be celebrating that. Like, you need to dial something up to where it's like it's a legit incomplete pass. Then you can be like, dude, that's the right play call. But if the other team is giving you the turnover on downs, that should not be something that you're like happy about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're talking about earlier in the game, not on that drive though, right?
No, I'm talking about earlier in the game. We had to stop in the second half because we scored a touchdown, then we stopped you guys, I think, and then we got the ball back, but then we ended up going like 3 and out. But
you guys scored almost like 21 or 24 unanswered points or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
crazy. You guys completely, the ball was momentum was completely on your side for at least a quarter.
Yeah, myth is busted though. Is you have to have a good running back. Like, good running back is key. I'm not saying that Trey Sermon isn't bad or anything. It's just Raheem Mostert, an explosive fast guy like that, makes a tremendous amount of difference in that offense.
Yeah, the guy who can.
It's an absolute game changer.
100% in the Shanahan offense, a guy who can cut to the outside. Like, we're talking in a matter of like 2 seconds, who can get to the outside where the protection is, or, in certain cases, if the protection is not there, guy who can get there quick. That's ultimately like what makes the run game go. And Raheem Mostert, he's an explosive guy. He can get outside, and for a couple of years there, you guys had, I forgot his name. What's his name?
What? Trey Sermon?
No. Before Raheem Mostert, who was the other guy?
Yeah, Elijah. Elijah does it well.
No, not this year. 2 years ago.
Oh, Matt Breida?
Matt Breida. He's an explosive guy. Yeah, he's an explosive guy.
He can get out, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's like their third stringer. But I mean,
we could
crazy.
use him right now.
it's nuts. But yeah, Matt Breida, like he was a guy, he could get it to the outside extremely quick. In between left tackles, I think in between the tackles too. Like, he'd get there. But
even a Wayne
I think
Gallman
that was
right now would be fantastic.
I think that's just what you're missing with Trey Sermon. I don't know if it's due to his inexperience or, maybe he's just getting his feet wet, not fully comfortable there just quite yet. But
yeah. But last thing on the Niners, pass rush was not there. And also, like you already alluded to, Jimmy had 1.5 seconds to throw the ball each play. And you can't do that. Player of the game for me, Deebo Samuel, for sure. He took some balls from your guys' DBs. It was like, my ball, not your ball. And that was 100%. Like, that showed me true wide receiver 1 stuff right there. Like, he took the ball from Jair.
Against Jair too. Yeah.
Like, that's big boy stuff.
I was like, no, Jair's hand was like, Deebo was like right there, like classic NFL receiver catching position. And Jair's hand was wedged in between it. So like, that should not have been a catch.
No, I know.
And Deebo just ripped it away, kind of came away with it. So I was incredibly surprised by that.
Right. Should we get into some factor cap?
Just one. Yeah, one last thing about the Packers. Kind of going in. This was like the gut check game. This was kind of like a pulse check for the Packers as far as like figuring out like, okay, can the Packers kind of go in and defeat a more physical team? Can we go in and play physical? Mm-hmm. And that is something that, regardless of the fact that 49ers had injuries on the secondary, that they had injuries.
It's not an excuse at this point.
It's not it's not an excuse, but what I'm saying is that when I mean by physical, I mean physical between the line of scrimmage. You know what I mean? Between the tackles, between the defensive ends. That's where the Packers have sorely missed within the past last 3 years, I want to say. Mm-hmm. So this was a gut check game for the ability to like put out a third string left tackle and go toe-to-toe, obviously with a little help, but go toe-to-toe with like one of the best edge rushers in the entire game. I mean, Nick Bosa he definitely got help. He definitely got chip blocked by a couple of tight ends here or there. but there was definitely some assistance. But I'm still saying that a third string left tackle going toe to toe with one of the best edge rushers in the game, and then on top of that, you have guys like Eric Armstead and so on and so forth, right? For the Niners, where it's like, okay, those aren't just like guys push over guys, you know what I mean? So this was a gut check game, and if the Packers continue playing like this, it definitely gives me a lot more confidence if down the road the Packers have to play a team, a brutal physical team like the Bucks or even the Rams down the road. If they have to go against each other, whatever it is, it gives me a lot more confidence going into those types of matchups. So
I agree.
So,
do you have any really quick surprises from last week before we do factor cap?
Like surprises overall, games,
like
players.
A surprise game that you weren't expecting. I was not expecting the Seahawks to lose.
Probably the Ravens-Lions game.
Yeah,
Seahawks to lose.
That's Justin Tucker is a savage.
Yeah. So, Seahawks-Lions, I was not expecting the Seahawks to lose that either. The fact that Seahawks-Vikings, I was not expecting the Seahawks to lose. The fact that the Vikings won that game, the way that they won that game completely, I think that the Seahawks have a lot of question marks on defense. They completely got destroyed. Or that defense was completely, just kind of tossed around. I mean, like, you paid Jamal Adams a lot of money. Okay, you paid Jamal Adams a lot of money, and for him, I'm not saying that, like, it's entirely on Jamal Adams, defensively, but I'm saying that the Seahawks gave up a lot of big runs to the outside, and Alexander Mattison, he's not even their number one guy. He's a talented running back, 100%. That game definitely proved it. But the fact that he was getting to the secondary and he almost met no resistance, and I think that falls on Jamal Adams just based off of how Jamal Adams is being played on that Seahawks defense. So paying a lot of money to not come up with some stops there. So I know. I was surprised by that. Ravens-Lions is probably the game that surprised me the most. I was expecting the Lions to be completely destroyed. The fact that they hung in there, the way that they hung in there, and the fact that they actually had the lead until Lamar Jackson,
pulled a fourth and what out of his butt.
Fourth. So I was not expecting that. That was probably a surprise.
Yeah. When we did both predictions, I don't remember if I wrote it down, but didn't I say that Justin Herbert, we're going to see the best Justin Herbert?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were really high on, I feel like you and I are both really high on the Chargers, but I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he had the best, did he have 4 touchdowns? I think he had 3 or 4 touchdowns, and he balled out. And I don't know. Is it a new king in the West?
They almost blew that lead, man. They almost blew that lead. And
what else is
it definitely cut it close
for the Chargers. So, yeah.
But yeah, he had 26, 38, 281 yards, 4 touchdowns. And the run game hasn't been as efficient. And I think Brandon Staley said something the other day. Something along the lines is like, we don't need the run game. The run game doesn't create the offense. The offense creates the run game, which is kind of inverse from the Sean McVay tree, obviously like that entire, he's not an offensive mind. He's a defensive minded coach, mind you, but just the fact that it's such a pull away from the offensive schemes that he's been around, in practice day to day, he was going against those guys that strongly believed in the run game, and to see it kind of, he doesn't see it the same way. It's kind of interesting. I just thought so.
Yeah. All right, let's get in. You give me some factor caps. We'll do it. And then I'll give you a couple too.
All right. Sounds good. Give me.
Because I am completely dumbfounded by some of the stuff that has happened so far this season.
Yeah. No, it's been a crazy season so far. I feel like every week we're hearing something about a parlay that someone's put in, one of those free bets, and it's going to pay out a metric ton of money just based off of so many upsets. But yeah, let's get into it. So factor cap, a couple of things that I found over on Twitter based off of Sunday and Monday's performances. The 2021 quarterbacks, so the quarterbacks Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, Zach Wilson, and then I guess you could throw in Davis Mills, are all crap. Mac Jones, 79 QBR, 1 pick. 1 pick six against the Saints, and then 3 picks overall. Trevor Lawrence, 60.3 QBR and 7 picks total. Zach Wilson, 51.6 QBR and 7 picks total. Fact or Cap, Kellan, are the 2021 quarterbacks crap?
Cap. I think that they just need time. They just need time. Right now, absolute garbage trash. But I think that they're going to end up being a fantastic class. This is going to take time. Do you think? What do you think?
I'm on the same page. I think that's 100% Cap. These guys do need a lot more time to get adjusted into their system. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, they're in terrible situations. We know the Jets and Jaguars aren't all there. Jets are benefiting probably from what I would say is better coach, defensive-minded coach. And then offensively, you have Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's brother. So, and he's a first-time coordinator. So, but he's also the one calling the plays. And I think Zach Wilson just needs to build confidence. Trevor Lawrence, he's not only having to learn, an NFL system for the very first time, as any of the other rookies, but he's also having to deal with a coach that is also learning the NFL for the very first time. So you're dealing with a rookie coach and a rookie. Being a rookie quarterback. So I give him a lot of benefit there. The picks is the only thing that, Mac Jones is obviously best situation. He's with the Patriots. Doesn't probably have like the most resourceful. He probably doesn't have like the best players compared to like someone like Trevor Lawrence. I'd take DJ Chark over Jacoby Myers any given day.
Oh yeah.
But Mac Jones, he's in the best situation. And I think that it just reflects in his stats. I think the only thing that says about that, the only thing I would say other than that is they just need time. I think different situation. I think it might be a different story next time around. So, all right. So we also have Monday's performance. So Nick Sirianni is ruining the Eagles' offense. They only attempted 3 rushes all night against the Cowboys. Factor Cap, Kellan.
I'm not sold on him. Every time he speaks in a press conference, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know. As long as you got Jalen Hurts, that at least adds some type of a running dimension to it. But I don't know, dude. The Eagles, I feel like they have pieces to be competitive, and I don't know that I couldn't watch that Cowboys Eagles game. It got bad after because it was 7-7, right? Like Fletcher got a touchdown, Cox, but it was kind of brutal. The Cowboys, surprising. There's a couple teams out there that are they give me the Cowboys and also kind of the Rams. Those teams have what the Niners had in 2019. I feel like they have just kind of that swag about them that is special. And because the Cowboys, I don't know. I feel bad talking crap to Jared because the Cowboys are actually looking nice. It's crazy. It's so strange. I think. I
actually think that. Though. You think it's facts? I honestly say I'm kind of on the same boat. I think I'm kind of on the same boat when it comes to the Cowboys. I definitely think the Cowboys are a better team. So I think the game flow got away from Nick Sirianni. So I'm going to say Cap. Nick Sirianni, he's a rookie head coach.
Yeah.
Coming into this, I think he doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I feel like he just has like a weird, kind of like a little like offness to him. Like he's just kind of like an off dude, like he's probably not like not saying like that there is a normal, but like he definitely comes off a little bit off. You know what I mean? Like, but I feel like scissors. Yeah, but I feel like this guy, he needs a little bit more time, especially with Jalen Hurts. He didn't give Jalen Hurts a whole lot of confidence coming into the season. Now, now like games on the line, you're trying to fight back into a game, and now you're, having him throw like, I think he ended up throwing like 40 times that game.
Jesus.
Like, something like that. And it's just like, you didn't give the guy, almost 40 times, 39 times. Hey, you didn't give the guy a whole lot of confidence before, and now you're expecting like the world out of him. And it's like, he's got things to figure out. So I'm going to say Cap right now. I think it's too early to say he's ruining the Eagles or he's destroying the franchise. I think it's too early to say any of that. Rookie coach, the game plan got away from him. If it would have been a little bit more controlled, we would have seen a little bit more rushes, but all right. This one's actually, I might say this for later. I'll save this one for later. But all right, the Broncos are the real deal and will win their division. Factor Cap, Kellan. Are they the best team in the AFC West right now?
Okay, win their division, negatory. That's impossible. AFC West, best division in the AFC. It's contender for sure. Because what do we got? 2 undefeated teams, and then the Chargers and Chiefs.
Yeah, and then Chiefs are the worst team in the AFC West.
Yeah, that won't last long. That won't last long. That's like the Dodgers being in last place the first week of the MLB season. Like they'll end up winning the division probably. But yeah, I think that's a bunch of cap. I could see the Raiders in the cellar potentially, but I just don't see anybody. They can't leap. I don't think they can beat like Patrick Mahomes. They could have the worst team around him. I just have faith that he can pull. He's going to be one of those dudes that I don't think he's going to have. Like he's going to be Russell Wilson. He doesn't have too many losing records just because of his ability and skill level. You know what I mean? I think they could potentially get third place. That's my ceiling for them this year.
Yeah, I'm 100% on the same page. I think that's absolute cap. I think, based off how the Chargers played against the Chiefs, I think later on in the season when they face against each other, when they face each other again, I think it might be a little bit different story. But the way that the Chargers played against the Chiefs, they're my pick, and they're my pick to win that division. I think if they continue playing the way that they are, they continue to gel offensively and grow defensively a little bit more. Brandon Staley again coming over from the Rams. I think that they are going to be the contender to win. Or they are pretty much a lock to win that division outright. So the Broncos, are they the real deal? Well, who have they faced? They faced the Jets,
right? Or 3.
Yeah. They faced the Jets basically all 0-3s. They faced the Jets last week, 26-0. They faced the Jaguars the week before, 23-13, and then the Giants the week before that, 27-13.
The toughest test, I think.
Yeah, Giants probably the toughest test there, especially since Jaguars probably not putting up too much of a fight. The Jets
that was week 1, right?
Yeah, was Broncos Giants was
that loss is going to age well for the Giants, at least.
I think it's a little too early to say that they're the real deal. I think their upcoming 4 games here. They go against the Ravens, followed up with the Steelers, the Raiders, and the Browns. So at least 3 of those 4 games are good tests for exactly where are the Broncos. Are they going to be able to compete? So, All right.
What's the remainder of their schedule?
I'm just saying the next 4.
Oh yeah, the Broncos. They're going to lose this week, though. I have a good feeling.
Yeah, against the Ravens, Steelers, the Raiders, and the Browns are the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be a good gauge. What's the next one?
All right. The Colts season is over after an 0-3 start. Is it over for them? Is the sky falling in Indy?
It's too early to say. No, that's cap.
That's cap.
I think they can pull a rabbit out of the hat, especially, yeah, it's going to be tough to get this upcoming week against the Dolphins, but I don't know. They have to get a dub here for sure. But at the Dolphins, that's going to be a tough game, dude. I think it's too early. They've got a good receiving core, decent running backs. I don't know. I think the defense is fine. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm going to say it's fact just because they're not defensively. I feel like they're what we expected defensively, like a really solid unit. They're going to have a really good schedule, so on and so forth. I feel like they're exactly what everyone expected. Offensively, if they keep putting out Carson Wentz out there when he's like injured or like he's not fully healthy, I feel like they're just shooting themselves in the foot. Like they might not realize it now, but they're not giving Carson Wentz enough time to come back from 2 ankle sprains. Okay, the week before against the Rams, he suffered 2 ankle sprains, and he's basically coming out there again ready to go. And I feel like if they're not cautious with Carson Wentz, yes, that dude wants to go out and play, and he'll put his body on the line for his team. What I'm saying is that he probably shouldn't do that, and the team shouldn't allow that, especially if you want to compete in January and February. You know what I mean? Like if you want to compete down the road, protect your quarterback now. And right. I'd take a couple losses if that meant week 6, week 7, I'm getting Carson Wentz back and he's fully healthy. So I'm going to say it's fact right now, just based off how the Colts are scheming everything. All right, my final factor, Cap, is it time to move on from, it is time to move on from Jimmy G because the Niners are just wasting Lance's time. Time being development time.
It's tough call. I think Jimmy wasn't the reason we lost the game, so that's what makes the decision kind of difficult to me. Like I feel like he did fine. I mean, errant throws every once in a while. Pick really, it was more of a better play by Jair. He grinded, took us down the field at the end of the game. Help from a couple flag or two, but I don't know. Trey's so dynamic in the red zone. That adds such a special aspect. I don't know. That probably wouldn't get ruined if he started. Obviously, you have to, you know what I mean? Like that dynamic element of when we're in the red zone and putting him in. Like I don't know. I just think Jimmy's not the reason why we're losing. So putting Trey Lance in, I don't know how much of a difference that would make besides adding that extra element of, yeah, he can tuck it and run, but it doesn't really matter when you have 1 second anyway. So if you have a read option in the line and Mike McGlinchey's already touching you because random right end or left end is already in the backfield, then there's no point of really putting Trey in anyway.
It was pretty much Alex Mack, bro. Pretty much as soon as the ball got snapped, Alex Mack was already like covering Jimmy G. So it was kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's Cap. I don't think it's time, and I don't think the Niners lost to the Packers because of anything that Jimmy G did. Yeah, obviously, 2 turnovers.
Oh, fumble spike though. Get out.
Yeah, I mean, like 2 turnovers by him overall. Like the Niners have gotten those turnovers from him before, and they've won the game. So it's not like that. I think the thing that's lacking from this year's Niners in comparison to last year is just that defensive punch. I feel like you guys aren't as put together as you were in the 2019, and I think that's 100% just due to injuries from year before and carry on.
And some inexperience now.
Yeah, now some inexperience, exactly. So I don't think Jimmy G is the reason you guys lost. And I think that you're definitely not wasting Lance's development time because I think that Lance, I mean, obviously I haven't seen enough tape of Lance. I haven't seen enough highlights, anything like that to be able to say it. But I think that the narrative around Lance has just been like he's inaccurate and he needs time to develop into to learn an NFL offense and be able to go end to end with it. And, Shanahan pointed out in the preseason saying that, Lance is I think he said that Lance is the number 1 player that watches film on that team or something like that. Obviously Lance is putting in time. What I'm seeing here overall between Jimmy and Lance is I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit more similar to how Flacco and Lamar Jackson that season back in, I think 2017 season when Lamar Jackson came in or they drafted Lamar Jackson 32nd overall or something like that. And Flacco started the first 8 or 9 games, and then they were just at 500, right? So at that point, the Ravens were kind of like, okay, if we throw in Lamar's going to get that time to develop and be that number 1 quarterback because at this point, we're just under 500 or just at 500. So we're not really at contention, but maybe we will be at contention if we add this other layer to our offense, if we add this growth, So I'm seeing it's going to be a little bit more similar to that, especially if, your defensive woes don't change, I guess. If you're not able to dramatically improve one way or the other defensively, I think that if you're just around 500 come week 8, week 9, then I think Shanahan's going to be like, all right, let's throw in Lance.
See what happens. Maybe we'll get that goal line effect more down the whole way down the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that unpredictability, that layer of, okay, what do we do? On the defensive side, shoot, what do I, try to scheme. No. So yeah.
One really quick. Imagine the day Marquise Brown would have had if he didn't drop all those passes. He would have had about a 50 or 60 point fantasy week if he didn't drop all those. It would have been crazy. He dropped 2 touchdowns and a would-be touchdown and then another deep bomb or something like that. He would have had 2 or 3 touchdowns. That would have been crazy.
Marquise Brown?
Yeah, Hollywood.
Oh, Hollywood Brown. Okay. I was like, dude, he's not on the Niners. I'm thinking Niners. I'm like,
No.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown.
Niners
Yeah,
need to take more deep shots. No, because you're talking about Lamar, and it just like brought up in my head. I'm like, dude, Lamar that wouldn't even have been a game if they actually would have caught some of those passes.
If they would have connected, yeah, for sure.
One of my factor caps.
Sure.
New York Giants. Done. Factor cap.
Cap.
Let's go.
Cap.
Really?
Yeah, I think
they're
cap.
getting. Yeah, what are you gonna say?
I think it's cap because they're losing. Let's just toss out the Broncos game. Okay, if we toss out the Broncos game, they're competitive against the Redskins. Sorry, Washington football team.
Yeah,
they're competitive against the Washington football team, and they're still competitive against the Falcons. Both of those guys, Washington football team, they should still be a really good defense, I think. And I mean, like, you don't have Ryan Fitzpatrick, but now you have, Taylor Heineke. But I think both of those teams are competing for, like pretty much like last place in division at this point in time. So I think the floor for the Giants is actually going to be second place in their division still. If Washington doesn't get their stuff together, they can't be blowing. Bills are the better team, and I feel like everyone expected the Bills to win at least like it would be a close game, tighter game. But the fact that it was kind of like a blowout definitely throws out Washington a little bit. So I think their season's not done. They're still going to be competitive. I think they're going to benefit from an easier schedule going down, especially within their division. They're going against the Saints next week, but then after that, they're going to have. Actually, no, they are not going to have an easy schedule.
Nope.
Yeah, they have the Saints, Cowboys, Rams, Panthers, Chiefs, Raiders, Bucks, Eagles.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going to go to facts
so they
on
could
that?
very real. Yeah, I kind of want to change it. My whole theory was that they're competing against some bottom tier teams, and bottom tier in the NFC East is second place.
Problem.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Do you think that the Washington football team can? I think they're 31st in defense. Do you think they can become a top 10 defense by the end of the year?
Yeah, I want to say yes, but let me see who they played so far.
You want to say yes, but the play has been telling you no.
Their pass rush has been
like a 49er.
I feel like it's going to get better. Their pass rush is going to get better. They just need secondary help, I want to say. But yeah, they played the Chargers week 1. Okay, that's fine. And they played the Bills. The only team on there is probably the Giants that gave them trouble. But yeah, I think they're 100% gonna come back to the top 10. Play harder teams down the road, but just inter conference games here down the stretch.
Yeah. What's up? You just cut out for a second.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Do you want to get into some of the games and then be done with this sucker?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. So which games do you want to start out with first?
Let's start off with the Monday night game.
Monday night game. Okay. Raiders Chargers.
I'm going to go Chargers.
Gonna be getting their first L of the season. Justin Herbert, he's turning it up. He's turning that MVP race. He's turning that MVP candidate. He's going that he's gonna be the MVP, dude. I'm telling you. I think that they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl. He's gonna be MVP. He's ramping it up. He's turning it up a notch, and he's going for it right now. He's the man. I don't think the Raiders really have much for him, especially if Josh Jacobs isn't super healthy. I don't know, man. Didn't Peyton Barber do okay this last week? I think he was their backup running back.
Yeah, well, Peyton Barber has been taking all the snaps since the injury to Josh Jacobs.
Yeah,
which has been I personally find it surprising because they brought in Kenya Drake
Yeah.
Why would you bring in Kenyon Drake if you're just going to give 23 carries to Peyton Barber? But yeah, 23 carries, 111 yards and 1 touchdown for Peyton Barber. So their run game isn't really gone, but I'm still going to go with the Chargers on this one. I think they're the better team. They're better put together. Defensively, I feel like the Raiders are going to give Justin Herbert a little bit. They're going to harass him pretty much all day, I think, when it comes down to it, just because Max Crosby, I feel like a lot of teams or not a lot of teams. I feel like a lot of the plays when it came down to it between the Raiders and Dolphins, I feel like, or sorry, not Raiders, Raiders and Ravens Monday night 2 weeks ago. A lot of the plays came down to Max Crosby coming up clutch for them.
Yeah.
So Max Crosby and then Casey Hayward, former Packer. I have a lot of confidence in them, as well as Solomon Thomas and Carl Nassib. I feel like that front four, along with Casey Hayward in the back, it's going to give him a lot of presence. But I think it's going to come down to the wire, and Herbert's going to come away with the dub.
Who's your waiver wire?
I'm gonna go with waiver wire pickup on the Raiders, and I'm gonna go with Henry Ruggs. I'm gonna go with Henry Ruggs.
In a lot?
No, he's not rostered in a lot of leagues. Let me pull that up.
Yeah, dude. Henry for sure. Zay Jones, take a chance. Take a chance on Zay Jones. Why not?
Yeah.
Also,
Henry Ruggs. He's at 80% rostered. What the heck?
No, Zay Jones, dude. Zay Jones is our waiver wire pick. We're riding or dying with Zay.
Okay, Zay Jones. I'll go with Zay Jones.
Derek Carr.
Yeah, I'm expecting. I feel like Derek Carr has had a 40 or 50 plus yard touchdown in every game that he's played. Every game this season. So I feel like it's going to happen again this season. I feel like it's going to be Zay Jones.
Mm-hmm. Dude, there's not too many. Oh, Cardinals Rams. Somebody's gonna go home on with the first tick on their record, dude.
I'm picking the Rams. I'm picking the Rams 100%. I feel like Rams have a better defense all through. They're gonna what?
Game changer though. Kyler gets out of the pocket. You over pursue on Kyler, he's gonna rush 120, 130 on you, dude, with a few touchdowns, and he's gonna do his little baby Yoda thing in the end zone. So I don't know what's gonna happen.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. But I'm gonna pick the Rams. I'm gonna pick the Rams on this one. I feel like they're just gonna come away with it. They're just a better put together team, and I feel like Matthew Stafford has always just been lacking a good team around him, like good player. I mean, obviously Matthew Stafford had Calvin Jones, but like overall, like the team hasn't quite always been up to standard. And now he's in a situation where, he has the pieces around him. So I feel like he's just going to execute. And I feel like I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. They're going to come away with it. I feel like you're right. It is going to come down to how the Rams play defensively against, Kyler Murray and, his ability to get out of the pocket and just make these insane throws.
Fadeaways. He's patenting the fadeaway in football. I'm gonna go with Kyler, and I'm gonna do my bold hot take right now. My bold prediction of the week. This is gonna be not only the highest scoring game of this week, I think it's going to be collectively the most points scored in a single game this season.
Okay, that is bold.
I think that there's gonna be 40 pieces by each team.
Okay.
Rams defense gets exposed a little bit here.
Okay. I buy it. Honestly, I buy it. 100% buy it, because I feel like this is just going to be I feel like this could 100% be one of those games where it just pops off. Like the Bears Rams game from like years and years ago, 17, they were both like the 1 and 2 in the NFC at least.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like everyone was expecting it to be maybe a 20-point game, come down to that. But it ended up being a 50-point game. So I feel like this could be that game. I would 100% believe it. Waiver wire pickup.
Waiver wire for the Cardinals ran. Oh, dude, who's that little dude? That's Rondale? Is he like rostered?
Rondale Moore.
Is he rostered a lot?
Rondale Moore. I feel like there was a lot of hype around him a couple of weeks ago. So he's now 64% rostered, but like the percentage change was like 40%.
40. Holy
he was
bucket.
40% was picked up just this past like week or so.
Dang. Let me look up top overall for the Cardinals.
I'm liking Max Williams here for the Cardinals. Max Williams, I feel like he's going to score. He doesn't really get a whole lot of targets being a tight end in the Cardinals system. I feel like Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury like to go over the top a lot with their wide receivers, but I feel like this is going to be one of those games where Max Williams, he's going to get a fair number of targets here against the Rams just because they are going – they're going to need him. They're going to be covered by Jalen. The receivers are going to be covered. DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, so on and so forth. Like they're going to be covered by the Rams secondary.
I think AJ Green's a solid pickup too, though.
Yeah, AJ Green. But I feel like Max Williams here. He's probably a sneaky pick here. Max Williams probably good for 5 or so targets, but definitely a touchdown. I'm feeling it.
Mm-hmm. You want to just end it on the Niners Seahawks?
Yeah. Sounds
All
good.
right, let's do it. Niners Seahawks, baby. It's going to be a solid 24-23 kind of game. That's how it's going to roll. Here's how it's going to go. Niners are going to go up 10-0. Okay? It's going to be like 10. We'll say it's going to be like 13-7 going into halftime. Niners are going to score a touchdown, making it, what is that? 20-7? Yeah, 20-7. And then we'll kick a field goal. We'll be up like 23-7. Guess who throws 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter? Your boy, Russell Wilson. Guess who catches him?
Why is he my boy? I don't claim him.
No. He's going to throw 3 touchdowns to Tyler Lockett in the fourth quarter. We're going to get the ball back. We're going to go 3 and out. He's going to take his team down the field, kick a game-winning field goal.
Okay. All right.
Score 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter and then kick one because that would, and then that would be 24-23. I just lay the whole game out for you right there.
Okay. I mean, I feel like just with Seahawks games, like I feel like honestly with Seahawks games, like I genuinely feel like not only are you going against the Seahawks, but you're also going against God. Like I feel like whatever Russell Wilson has, man, when it comes down to it, he just gets he just has so much luck in like the fourth quarter. Like it literally has to be God, like God working through it. Holy crap, dude.
Especially against the Niners.
It's just insane to me. But yeah, no, I definitely believe that. I could definitely believe a score like that, but I think it's going to be 33-28. So by a touchdown. And I'm going to go with the 49ers just because I believe in the 49ers defense. Ooh. Yeah, I believe in the 49ers defense.
Okay, that's what I'm saying, dude.
I believe in your defense more than I believe in the Seahawks defense.
This is the first time in all Gear No Game that I think I'm picking against the 49ers to win a game.
Yeah, I don't think in like the time that I've known you've ever picked against the Niners.
I just don't have faith.
Even in the Super Bowl. Well, I mean, obviously you're going to pick the Niners in the Super Bowl, but
well, hell, dude, if you make it that far, you might as well just send it.
Yeah, I'm like obviously, but yeah, no, I don't think I've ever. But yeah, no, it's crazy.
But that's the games. I'm just really still drained from last week, and I think the Niners are going to be too. And it's just going to be a freaking absolute.
Do you think Jimmy is playing for? Do you think Jimmy is playing for a job this year? Not like obviously like his starting job, whatever. But like, do you think he's auditioning for a starting job somewhere else this year?
Yeah.
Is that like the lay of the land?
Yeah. I mean, if someone sees him and they're like Washington football team, for instance. I mean, honestly though, Tyler Heineke's not that bad. But if a team's watching Jimmy Garoppolo and we're saying we dropped a few linemen, give him few more seconds, this guy's legit. I mean, that pass to George Kittle, it was pretty much. I don't know why Kyle Shanahan doesn't trust him more to push down the field. We need to do that. You need to utilize Brandon Ayuk while you have him, and I think that Deebo Samuel can win 1v1 ball, like jump balls, easy, especially with George Kittle. I don't know why you're not pushing the field. Like, we don't have any running backs that are explosive right now. We need to turn into a one-dimensional freaking gunslinger team, and I'll be fine with it. Like, if we're throwing the ball down the field multiple times a game, multiple times a quarter, that's going to make losing a lot more fun, I think. Because if you hit on those, complete momentum shifts in the game. You need to be able to do that to match Russell Wilson, in my opinion. I don't know. But at the same time,
yeah, I mean, like,
field, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they've definitely I definitely feel like the Seahawks have let Russ cook. And I don't know if it's like to a detriment, you know what I mean? Because he's like constantly looking for those deep shots now.
That's facts.
And like trying to create it, and it's just like, oh, dude, that's like, don't throw it there. But he does, he does.
But yeah, okay. I'll let you go to bed, my guy. Jesus, I forget that it's literally 11, like 2 hours ahead. But yeah,
yeah, 11.
It's 11. All right.
It's gonna be a good week.
Yes, it's gonna be interesting. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm wrong. Hopefully, reverse psychology takes place.
Yeah.
But okay. Good luck against the Steelers. Wish you nothing but the best.
Yeah, it's not like the easiest matchup, but I feel like the Packers are gonna pull away.
It's weird what happens when Kevin King is out of the lineup.
Oh my God! Let me talk about Packers Twitter real quick. They're like, it's freaking disgusting, dude. Like the things that Packers Twitters are. They're literally saying like maybe the Packers trainers should concuss him more, so that he stays out of the lineup. I'm like, why would you even say that?
That's like,
it's so awful. Messed up. Like, what? But yeah, I'm like, disgusting, so disgusting, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, we don't accept those kind of people here at All Gear No Game. We're not like that. We don't wish injuries upon anybody. But for fantasy waiver wire pickup, you want to have a fun little time here? Need a running back, and Elijah Mitchell's not there. Why not use check? Why not take a chance?
Why not?
Yeah.
Everyone was expecting the game flow to go to Trey Sermon, and then Kyle Shanahan's like, nope. Here's Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, exactly. And even Deebo Samuel and stuff.
Deebo Samuel.
I always wish Deebo could be lined up as a running back in fantasy. I mean, like, because he lines up in the backfield like 2 or 3 times a game sometimes. So why not?
Yeah, I remember when the Packers lost pretty much like all their running backs, and they had to convert Ty Montgomery from a receiver to a running back, 88. And that was like the only year. No, actually, this happened for Cordarrelle Patterson too, but that was like the one year where like you could actually play him as both a running back and receiver in those slot positions, just because that's how they converted him. They converted him from receiver to running back. So came up. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let you go to bed, my guy. I'll post this tomorrow. Okay.
All right. This is good.
Later. Good job.